Last chapters. Woo! I'm finally almost done with this damn book. Ooh, okay. Let's get comfortable because I am so ready to be done with this book. At 7 o'clock sharp. 12:13 in epilogue. Ooh. At 7 o'clock sharp, the curtain went up in the auditorium and Miss Fraser took the stage. Welcome to Havisham Academy's 65th annual talent show, she announced. I think you're all in for quite a treat. We have talent about this year we've never had before. First, of course, we'd like to thank our distinguished panel of judges. Judges, will you please stand up? A line of adult wishlings stood up in the first row and turned, waving and grinning. Leona recognized several teachers as well as the headmistress who had welcomed her to the school. As you know, the judges will be awarding a first prize, Miss Fraser went on, but really, everyone who performs is a winner tonight. I hope, therefore, that you'll show them all respect they so deserve. Now, without any further ado, ladies, may I present our first performers who were last year's winners and the year before that too. Talia, Casey, and Adeline, otherwise known as Make a Move. The students in the audience applauded politely as Talia and her friends ran on stage. Leona did not miss the icy glare Talia shot at Lily. On Starland, it was known as giving someone a solar flare. Ignore her, Leona told Lily. I'm trying, she said. I really am. Lily looked down at her glittering gold outfit. Lame leggings and a sequined top, plus shiny gold panther leather lace-up ankle boots. Next, she smiled at Leona's ensemble, a mirror image of her own. I still don't know where you got these awesome costumes, she said. Oh, you know, Leona shrugged. Naturally, she had used her Wish World outfit selector, but she had to keep that to herself. They are pretty stellar, aren't they? But hey, we're stars. What else would we wear? On stage, Make a Move was making moves, each member at a slightly different speed. Their smiles, however, were huge and their ponytails swung impressively. So they really won the past 2 years? Lily nodded. Mm-hmm. Just then, Hannah, the girl with the lifelike doll, walked up beside them. She held her partner, Dolly, in her arms. Wow, you two look like real rock stars, she told Leona and Lily, while Dolly checked them out. We try, Leona told her. Lily blushed. At the same time, the music ended and the crowd broke into cheers. Oh, I hope they don't win again, muttered Hannah, as the dancers bowed and high-fived off the stage. No one else congratulated them. A few girls rolled their eyes. Dolly whispered something into Hannah's ear that made her eyes grow wide. Really, Dolly? I can't believe you would say that. That's so rude. Hannah laughed. If Make a Move cared, though, they didn't show it. Who wants to quit right now? Talia said. Fortunately for everyone, Miss Fraser soon appeared and herded the act out the stage door. Girls, she announced, after you've performed, please go out and join the audience so it's not crowded back here. Next up, Hannah and Dolly. You're ready, Dolly declared. Leona surveyed the other performers backstage, all waiting their turns to go on. There were a few other dancers, including one with shiny black shoes that clicked whenever the soles tapped the floor. I'm sorry, I just remember Sage's book. Several girls with their instruments had made the show as well, along with the girl with the flugelhorn. There was a pianist and a tall copper-haired girl who blew into a thin silver tube. A flute! Miss Fraser had been firm about not having non-performers backstage, so Vega sat in the audience along with the rest of the school. Leona could see her from the edge of the wings, but Vega could not see Leona. Vega looked anxious, wringing her hands in her lap. Leona wished she could run down and tell her to stop. Her mission was bound for success, but no, she was going on soon and had to save her voice. She needed to focus on her performance. Wait, that sounded wrong. Leona tightly squeezed her eyes closed, trying to unscramble her tangled thoughts. Aha! She knew what she needed. I'll be right back, she told Lily, dashing off to find some privacy. Wait! Don't leave me! Lily said. She followed Leona to a quiet corner backstage. Leona closed her eyes, took a deep breath, and let everything else melt away. You are a star, light up the world, she muttered. She murmured 3 times purposefully. What did you say? Asked Lily. Leona turned to Lily. Just something I say sometimes that helps me, find myself. How does it go exactly? Asked Lily. Like this. You are a star, light up the world. She touched Lily's arm. Try it. Go on. It really works. Lily did. How do you feel? I feel better. Lily's chin rose a little higher. Her shoulders seemed to relax. I can do this, she said, smiling at herself. Leona also felt better, but not quite the way she planned. Lily! Leona! Miss Fraser motioned from the edge of the stage. By that time, half a dozen more acts had gone on and come off. Places, please. Charlotte is almost done, and you two are on next. Ready? Said Leona. She linked her arm with Lily's in the starling way. Ready. Then let's get out there and sing. You, most of all, are so winning first place. Get ready for your dream to come true. That brought a smile from Libby. Oh, I don't care if we win. Do you? I'm just happy to be doing this at all. When we met, I was just wishing to have the courage not to chicken out the way I did last year. I'd love to show my sister that I can do it, and maybe make her a little proud of me for once. Leona stared at Lily. Now everything made perfect sense. She knew what she had to do. The shiny shoe dancer tapped off, waving her top hat and cane. Miss Fraser returned to the stage with 2 microphone stands. Thank you, Charlotte. Now please welcome your next performers, Lily and Leona. Leona stepped in front of one mic while Lily took the other. Leona drank in the round of applause like it was cold glass of lemonade. She smiled down at Vega and even waved, hoping to get her to smile back. At the same time, she tried to ignore Talia and her friends. Unfortunately, they were working too hard to make themselves impossible to miss. Rather than clapping, they were giggling and whispering loud enough for everyone to hear. It was all Leona could do not to use her energy and shut them up with a flick of her wrist. They were lucky she kept her hands clenched around the microphone instead. Thank you, everyone. Really, you're too kind. Hey, how about a round of applause for our real star of the night, Miss Fraser? After all, without her, none of us would be here. Am I right? Leona led the crowd in another round of applause, to the teacher's delight. Then she took a deep breath and leaned back over the mic to add one more thing. Now, I know that the program lists our next act as a duet, but the truth is, I'm not out here to perform. I'm just here to introduce my friend Lily, who will be singing a solo for you all. A collective gasp rose from the crowd as Leona stepped away. The loudest gasp by far, though, came from Lily, who spun around Leona in disbelief. I can't, she mouthed. Yes, you can, Leona mouthed back, and she had to, Leona knew. Vega was right. For Lily's true wish to be granted, she had to prove to herself that she had the courage to get up there and sing alone. Leona had gotten much too carried away with the idea of singing along with her, but there were plenty of time for performing back on Starland. This was the time for Lily, and Lily alone to shine in the starlight. Leona gazed deep into Lily's eyes. You are a star. Light up the world, she murmured, pointing to her own heart. Lily bit down on her lip and slowly nodded. She stepped closer to the mic. At that moment, something happened. Lily changed, like the sky when the sun breaks through the clouds, and it took place so quickly that Leona wasn't even ready for the fountain of wish energy that gushed out. It poured out at her in a blindingly brilliant, that is, to Leona and Vega. The room of wishlings had no idea. All they were aware of was Lily standing in the spotlight, getting ready to sing for them. So sing already, someone hollered in a shrill voice. We're waiting, someone else howled. Ooh. Leona tore her eyes from the flow of wish energy to scan the audience for the source. She knew, of course, who it was before she found them. Talia and her cohorts. Leona turned back to Lily, whose face had frozen. Her wish energy flow had all but stopped. Leona knew she would be worried about her mission's success then, but all she could think about was her wisher and her wisher's feelings, and how she could make those bullies stop. She was just about to raise her hand and use energy to dump water on them when someone else jumped up. Hey, that's my sister, and she'll sing when she's ready. Show a little respect. You can do it, Lily. called her sister. "Take all the time you like." "Yeah!" others yelled, and a chorus of agreement rose around her, followed by a round support of applause. Lily's eyes, meanwhile, filled with clear, happy whistling tears as she and her sister shared a smile. Swoosh! If Leona had been slow to capture the first surge of wish energy, she nearly missed the next as it burst toward her like a tidal wave in a whole new, even more spectacular rainbow. It was simply startacular. Chapter 13. "Moon and stars! That was starmendous, Leona!" "Truly," Vega gushed. She punctuated her compliment with warm, impulsive hug. "Star salutations," said Leona, "especially for opening my eyes." They stood in a corner of the lobby where everyone had gathered after the show. Everyone, that is, but Make a Move, whose members had stormed off as soon as the judges' votes were tallied, and Miss Fraser announced the results. Talia and her friends had not won first place, which surprised nobody but them. That award had gone to Lily, whose performance had earned the sole standing ovation of the night. Nor had they won second. That had gone to the pianist. Dolly and Hannah had come away with third. Make a Move had earned something else, however. They had been disqualified for behavior unbecoming of students of Havisham Academy, or anywhere else, Miss Fraser had announced. "Oh, you would have figured out what to do on your own, I bet," Vega told Leona. "But I'm glad that I could help." "I don't know if I would have," Leona sighed. "I got pretty excited about singing up there, even when I realized that what helping Lily's wish come true really meant. It was hard to step out of the starlight and let her shine alone. It would have been so startastic to sing with her, up on stage on Wish World. It would have been the chance of a lifetime. Well, clearly you're meant to be a star, darling, thinking about others and not yourself. I just hope that when it's my turn, I do half as well." "Literally," said Vega. "You captured 2 wishes worth of energy." Leona rubbed her wish pendant proudly while Vega pulled her stars up out. "So should we head back?" Leona held back. "Now?" Her eyes skimmed past Vega to Lily, who stood at the other end of the room. She looked thrilled but overwhelmed by a throng of classmates surrounding her. Their eyes met and Lily's hand shot up in a swift, "I need you" wave. "We can't go yet," Leona told Vega. "I haven't even said goodbye." Goodbye. That word hung in front of Leona like a dark, unexpected cloud. Somehow, this part of the mission had never occurred to her before. She had been too busy, she supposed, and now that time had come. She wasn't ready. Not at all. "Of course," Vega told her. "Star apologies. You're absolutely right. But you should hurry." "I will," said Leona. "Wait here. I won't be long." Leona reached Lily and threw her arms around her. "Congratulations! You were so great!" "Thanks. Oh." Lily giggled and shuddered. "Wow, there's a lot of static in the air these days." Ooh. She might have already erased her memories. "Oh, sorry," Leona let her go. "I knew you would do it," she went on. "Well, that makes one of us," Lily laughed. "When you said I was singing a solo, I honestly thought I was going to faint." "Oh, she didn't erase her memories already." "Yes, but when you did, you found the power in yourself to make your dreams come true. And I bet you can't wait to do it again. Tell me singing up there on stage wasn't the best feeling you ever had." "Actually," Lily started, but just then her sister appeared. The older girl smiled at both Lily and Leona. "You're new, aren't you?" she said. Leona nodded. "Well, I'm glad you're here. Thanks for being such a good friend to Lily. There aren't a lot of girls at this school who would have helped her the way you did. Honestly, I didn't think I'd ever see her get up on stage." "Well, it won't be the last time," said Leona, "especially when she knows you have her back." "I know, but I'm not always going to be there. I graduate this year. That's why I keep trying to make Lily stand up for herself if you don't," she told Lily. "Who will?" "I know," Lily nodded. Then suddenly she stood straighter, as if an idea had sparked in her mind. "In fact, I'm going to stand up for myself right now. You owe me a duet," she declared, turning to Leona. "You can't let all that rehearsing go to waste. Hey, what if we formed a band?" "A band? That's the best idea ever." Leona stared when a tug at her elbow made her stop. She looked down to see Vega staring up at her with a wide, "Are you out of your mind?" eyes. "What I mean is, you should form a band," Leona clarified. "You'd be a great lead singer, and every school needs at least one band. But I don't think I can start it with you. In fact, it's impossible." "Why?" Because I didn't want to seem like a show-off, so I didn't tell you this before." but I actually just signed a recording deal and I have to go cut an album tonight. Really? Leona's jaw fell open. Her sisters did the same. Leona nodded matter-of-factly. Would I lie about something like that? Tonight? I'm afraid so. At least that's what my agent tells me. She smiled at Vega. Right? Agent? Isn't that really why you came? Sure, Vega said slowly. You're her agent? Lily asked. Vega shrugged. I know. It's crazy, isn't it? I think it's awesome, said Lily. Wow. Now it's really too bad we didn't sing together, she joked. I almost sang with a real star. Lily's sister spoke up. I'd love to hear you. In fact, I bet everyone would. Leona felt herself blush, wishling style, as Vega hooked her arm. Too bad we have a flight to catch, Vega said meaningfully. Wait. She held her ground. Okay, I'll do it. She slipped her arm from Vega's and took hold of Lily's hands. Let's go sing that duet. You talked me into it. But let's do it out under the stars, she said. Have you ever sung there before? Oh, you'll love it. It's the best. Epilogue. Leona had realized her wish road goodbye would be hard, but it was even worse than she had feared. She probably would never get to see Lily again. Not in person, at least. There was always the chance, Leona supposed, of catching a glimpse of her from the wish world observatory, but with 7 billion wishlings on Wishworld, the odds were atom slim. Still, Leona swore to herself she would try and try and try until she did. Lily was sure to do something great with her talent on Wishworld, and Leona was not going to miss it. She tried to keep this in mind as she bid farewell to Lily after their duet. Text me, Libby told her. I'll try, Leona said, but of course, as soon as she hugged her goodbye, Lily's memory and those of all the rest of the students at Havisham Academy were erased. Oh my god. Just remember what a great mission this was, Vega said to comfort her as they got ready for their trip home. Think of how much you just accomplished toward helping Starland, Vega went on. You're not just a star, darling, you know. You're a true star hero. Star salutations, Leona said gratefully. I couldn't have done it without you, you know. Vega smiled. Okay, see you back home. Why, Leona! Vega! What in the universe happened to you two? Lady Stella said, ushering the newly arrived star darlings into her office and helping each into a chair. Both were pale for starlings, and their glows flickered on and off. The stars in Leona's hair had burned out and needed to be charged. I don't know, Leona panted. Something went wrong on the trip back. All of a sudden, my star started to stall. Then it started to drift. It was terrible. Luckily, Vega was there to pick me up. Otherwise, she caught her breath. I don't know what I would have done. Well, I was there, Vega patted Leona's hand. We just need a starman to recover our glows. Leona bolted up straight, suddenly energized. Her trip had been stressful, but now she was home. She placed her hand over her wish pendant proudly. She could only imagine how much positive energy her single wish pendant now contained. Vega sat up too. You should have seen her, Lady Stella, she told the headmistress. She thought she was just going to make one wish come true, and she ended up granting 2. 2 wishes, gasped Lady Stella. Her face lit up in thrilled surprise. 2 wishes. Heavenly stars, this is the most exceptional mission, it seems. Come, let us summon the other star darlings to the wish house and collect your most well-earned and deserved wish blossom. That is, if you're up to it. Or perhaps you need a bit more time. Oh no! Leona sprang out of her chair. Let's do this. I'm ready. The alert went out and the star darlings rushed from wherever they were to the headmistress's office. Leona glowed in delight as all their attention and anticipation Leona glowed in delight at all their attention and in anticipation of the honor to come. Leona was happiest to see Ophelia, and Ophelia clearly felt the same. So how did it go? Ophelia asked her. Sartastic, and I'll tell you all about it later. How about you? Ophelia shrugged. We can talk about that later. Also. This moment is for you. Lady Stella walked over, gently cradling the wish orb. She solemnly placed it in Leona's eager hands. It glowed in her grasp, and her pulse quickened in anticipation. Everyone was holding their breath, waiting for the stunning moment of transformation, but there was nothing. A panicky feeling started to rise in Leona's chest. It was unfamiliar and decidedly unpleasant. What's going on? She asked, looking at Lady Stella for reassurance, but Lady Stella looked puzzled and confused. I don't understand, she said, inspecting the wish orb. It should have happened by now. But it had not. Ew! Exclaimed Gemma suddenly. What's wrong with your wish pendant, Leona? Everyone look, it's all burnt up. Gemma! Tessa whispered harshly, scowling at her sister. Still, what Gemma had said was true. The thing on Leona's wish barely resembled her wish pendant, although it was basically the same size and shape. Instead of gleaming gold, however, it was gnarled and as black as soot. Leona, what did you do? Murmured Astra. I don't know, Leona wailed. Really, it was perfectly fine when we got back to Starland. You know that. You saw it too. I don't know how or when this could have happened. I don't know what I could have done. Did something go wrong on your mission? Asked Adora. She was trying to be helpful, but the question still stung. No! It went tremendously... Unless... Oh no, she moaned. Unless I overloaded it. Unless the energy from 2 wishes was too much for my wish pendant to absorb. Mission? Moon and stars, are you saying you granted 2 wishes on your mission? Said Cassie. Can you even do that, Lady Stella? The headmistress, who by now stood over Leona, stared at her wish pendant in wide-eyed alarm. Indeed you can. It's entirely possible, though exceedingly rare. When it has happened, though, the positive wish energy collected has been more than double what a typical wish brings in. Carefully, she lifted the arm bearing Leona's wish pendant and examined it closely. What? Sorry, that was my brother. But it was probably good because I needed to take a break from that really quick. Hold on, I need to back up a bit. She lifted the arm bearing Leona's wish pendant and examined it closely, turning it slowly right to left. What happened here simply makes no sense. The magic of wish pendants comes from their limitless capacity for positive energy. Exceeding it is impossible, as astrophysics has well proved. No, I do not believe that what's happened here, granting 2 wishes, would never cause this kind of wish pendant destruction. Then what did? Leona wailed. She pulled her wrist back and shook her cuff in mortification and disgust. Oh, wormholes! I can't believe all that wonderful energy I collected is now wasted. You all should have seen it, she went on. I should have come right back as soon as I had it. I should never have stayed to sing that song. You stayed to sing a song? said Astra. Leona hung her head and nodded. With my wisher. Astra and a few others traded, there you have it, eyes. Sage spoke up. I stayed for a little while, too, after I collected my wish energy, and it wasn't a problem at all. You don't know what it's like, she told Astra and the other star darlings. You haven't been to Wish World yet. Goodbyes are the hardest part. Yes, I don't believe that affected your wish pendant either, Leona, said Lady Stella. You mustn't blame yourself. I would be shocked if there was anything a star darling could do to render her wish pendant useless like this. There's no such thing as too much positive wish energy, nor would any well-meaning action cause such harm. Perhaps, she went on, there was a flaw in your wish pendant that no one noticed, or a defect that could not be detected until it was used. I assure you, this is no fault of yours, but merely a malfunction which will prove most helpful in due course. But how? Growled Leona. How can a filthy, burnt-up wish pendant help anyone? The headmistress smiled kindly, almost as if she had a plan. If I may, Leona's skin tingled as Lady Stella grasped the cuff and slid it from her wrist. It's very simple, she explained. I'm going to have Professor Dolores Ray examine this and determine precisely what went wrong. There is no one in the universe more knowledgeable about wish energy, after all. And as we know, knowledge is power. Her findings will help us design corrections to prevent this from happening again. Fear not, Leona. Despite this tragedy, your mission was not in vain. Shall I take it to her? Lady Stella turned, as did the Star Darlings, to see Lady Cordial emerging from the shadows of Wish Cavern. My star salutations, Lady Cordial, said the headmistress. She bowed and held the cuff out for her colleague to receive. My stars! Lady Cordial winced as she regarded it. She clucked in dismay. How dreadful! I know, Lady Stella agreed, though I suppose disasters such as this are to be expected. Sorry, that was Nala. To be expected in such a new and risky endeavor. And with such young, inexperienced starlings. Lady Cordial's eyes stayed focused on the wish pennant, but her words hit Leona like a spear. Leona felt Vega's arm wrap around her, but she shrugged it off and stepped away. Lady Stella had made her feel better for a starman, but Lady Cordial was right. She had been given the chance of a lifetime and ruined everything. She didn't deserve her friend's comfort, or Lady Stella's, or anyone's. Maybe she didn't even deserve to be a star darling anymore. Just like Scarlet. Why does everything keep going back to insult her? Hold on. Oh my god! The evening was still young, and everything on Starland was just beginning to reach its maximum glow. But Leona had no interest in any of the hundreds of nightly activities the students at Starling Academy normally enjoyed. The last thing she wanted to do was stargaze or play neon energy ball or collect glober beans in crystal jars. She didn't even feel like singing. All she wanted to do was go back to her room in the Big Dipper dorm and be alone for as long as she could. She knew Ophelia would be there eventually. Maybe by that time she'd want to talk. She held her hand up to the scanner in the middle of her door. "Welcome, Leona," the Bot-Bot voice greeted her as the panel glowed a bright blue. Smoothly, the door slid open, and Leona slipped into her room. She debated for a star's sec whether to leave the lights low. Finally, with a heavy sigh, she blinked to turn them up and chased the shadows from the room. "Scarlet!" "Star apologies," said Scarlet, stepping out from the corner where the dark had hidden her. "I didn't mean to startle you." "You didn't startle me. You scared my stars off. What are you doing here? How did you get in?" "I used the hand scanner. Still works." Scarlet held up her hand. "And I really thought we needed to talk." She glanced quickly around the room. "No one else is coming, right? Are we all alone?" "Something really weird is going on, Leona." "Go!" Leona raised her arm and jabbed a finger at the door. "I don't want to talk now, Scarlet. I don't want to do anything. Can't you tell I'm not in the mood?" She clenched her jaw and crossed her arms. The empty spot where her wish pennant had been looked pale and dull. "I've had the worst star day ever, and talking to you is not going to help. If anyone should know how I'm feeling right now, it should be you, I think." "But, please," Leona growled. "We can talk about the band or whatever you want tomorrow. Stay in it or not. But this isn't your room anymore, so you have no right to be in here. Technically, you're trespassing. Do you want me to send a holo signal to security? Because I will." Scarlet blew her bangs in frustration, but didn't argue anymore. Instead, she tugged the collar of her star-studded jacket and stomped toward the door. As it slid open, she glanced over her shoulder. There was a dark spark in her eyes that was new. "Fine, I'll go," she said. "But just so you know, you're making a mistake." "Well, it won't be the first one," Leona retorted, wishing the door closed behind Scarlet. She threw herself down on her bed. She had somehow ruined what should have been her finest moment. What was she going to do? The first 3 books are now done. Thank you. See you guys later for Vega and the Fashion Disaster.